What's up, folks? I am Jayme Bedingfield. You are listening to my podcast, Too Many Words. Remember, as always, to subscribe, tell everyone who will listen, and support the show on patreon.com/too many words. Your support keeps this train chugging. Either way, you rock for tuning in. Welcome to the show, to 2018, to the first day of the rest of your life. A warning, I'm feeling a little deep today. I'm in a mood. It's rainy and gray, and I'm low on sleep and full of words and works and worries. And it's just me today. I started the new year fully writing and planning the month and the year and my entire future. And I decided to start start the year out doing an interlude, something that focuses on lots of books and some more rambling, deeper than usual, maybe, perhaps just whinier. I'm not sure. We're going to figure it out together. And at some point in December, I started receiving all these requests from potential guests, and a lot of them from publicists. And I was reaching out to people, and then people started reaching out to me. And the show is fully booked through June, and so we're taking a quiet moment before all that happens. And a lot of the guests have new releases during the time that they're scheduled, and things are clicking, as it were. And I can't even tell you how excited I am for all the reading that's ahead of me. Definitely a gig perk. I am going to start off talking books I've read recently that I think that you should read and also tell people about. And I'm going to do it in the order in which I read them because that's how my brain wants to do it. Side note, I am battling another bug of some kind. This one is attacking my throat, so my voice might crack or creak, so prepare yourselves. First off, I want to talk about the Kraken Sea by Katherine Tobler. It's published through Apex Book Company and is hauntingly beautiful tale that follows Jackson, an orphan with a darkness inside of him and coils of tentacles that appear from time to time. And Jackson discovers a world within our own that he fits in, but must decide who he is and where his loyalties lie. The fluid prose throughout webs a dark and careful tale about self-discovery. Tobler pulls at so many truths and fears that I relate to. I think a lot of us do. We visit there from time to time, if not dwell there completely. Everyone is looking for that place where they belong, both outside and inside themselves. And the struggle between the darker side of oneself is a theme that always pulls me in. It's a journey that, I think of that I experienced going from, childhood chaos to mostly functioning adult. Tobler drew magic out of so many realistic elements that one would experience in a new city and a new home, and understanding new relationships. And the ending ties the story together in the best possible way. It's awesome. And so I would definitely pick this up. Amazon, apexbookcompany.com. This is a special story, and I will warn you that once you start this book, you won't want to do anything else until you've finished it. The first chapter folds you in, and I love the presence of the train in the initial scenes. Each chapter builds a layer of complication and terror that left me gasping for the next line. So truly wow, pick it up. And the next works I want to talk about is a novella duology by Jayme out through Tor.com. The Black Tides of Heaven and the Red Threads of Fortune, which are both part of the Tensorate Series. A third installment is coming soon. And oh man, I love these. Fantasy, adventure, family. J.Y. Yang's effortless world building is just so breathtaking, and their characters are rich and emotional. The magic system in this rocks. Yang paints very raw and real depiction of complicated family and the loyalty that's ingrained in shared blood. I really enjoyed the pace. It gives the feel of reading mythology, which I love. Powerful stories that build a greater meaning. Beautiful, beautiful fiction. And the last one I'm going to mention is The Girl with the Red Balloon, which is a YA fantasy intertwined with whimsically with history by Katherine Locke. It's the first of the Balloon Maker series, and this one follows Ellie, who accidentally time travels via red balloon to 1988 East Berlin. And I love this book a lot. It's adventure and just magic, and tells important history in poignant and magical entrenched narrative. I was on an emotional roller coaster with this one, going from terrified to in love to utterly devastated. But all great reads, make them happen. Both J.Y. Yang and Katherine Locke will be joining me in January, and then I'm definitely excited to get into their worlds and process more. And at that, I'm taking a moment to savor the gig again. And I get to read cool books and talk to the authors about them. Good stuff. I'm really trying to make a point to enjoy work, in my life, really. It's too easy to be concerned or uptight that very little is enjoyed. At least for me. Our time is so limited and our end is unknown. This brings me so much panic. It's like something I keep worrying about and thinking about, and I don't know when or how I'll die, and it freaks me out. I know a lot of you, deal with this. I mean, it's staring us all in the face, and I'm having trouble focusing on it. All my projects will reflect that, since there's a heavy theme of, digesting one's mortality in pretty much all of them. And, this major aspect of our lives, the end of it is ultimately out of our control. So I am trying to come to peace with this fear. And maybe peace is genuinely enjoying the time we have. And I wouldn't say that noting it is a New Year's resolution of mine so much as just like a personal goal I want to work on. So, help that anxiety of mine stay at bay and not grow horns. January has an eerie element to it. You know what I mean? Like this vibe, new but old. And also there's like this holiday recovery aspect. And during this holiday season, I found myself marveling at the impact of it all. The moment it's November, there's this buzz in the stores and anywhere in public, really. It's overwhelming. And I don't like it. And I like it less each year. Each year, as technology improves, the ability to pick the perfect gift, the hard to get item, it's all clickable on the phone, on the tablet, on the computer, and the highly sought after limited edition whatever that also comes in pink. It's all there, right below the finger. And I bought tablets for the kids while drinking my coffee, still in pajamas. The only other beings awake in my house were my dogs. And there I was, huddled in my chair in the corner with my tablet, surrounded by the dogs, and I couldn't help but think of the story my grandmother told me as a kid. My grandmother told me lots of stories, and most were terrifying and meant to keep me from doing things. But this one was a little different. It was about generations of women who cut the end of a ham before realizing that the very first woman to cut the ham and set this tradition into effect, that was only cutting the ham there because her pan was too small. Yeah, let that one sit in. It sinks and says things. And we are in this routine to consume. This aspect, felt like it was yelling awful loud this year. And we had some quiet, beautiful moments. And actually, we had a small miracle. Christmas Eve around 4 p.m., it started to snow, and it snowed all night and through the day. And Seattle doesn't often get snow, and even rarer does it get it before mid-January. So my kids had their very first white Christmas, and that made me happy. Having snowball fights in the front yard after opening presents. That's just, that's good stuff. But, I always find myself relieved that, once the new year flicks over and the holidays are officially at an end, it always makes me feel guilty that I'm relieved, that I'm left with the questions of, did everyone have a good Christmas? Did I have a good Christmas? Are people happy? Was it a success? Success. That feels like a weird word to apply to a holiday. Now a new year looms. And I looked at this upcoming year with a lot of carefully poised scrutiny. I have goals, shit I've been working on towards, for years now. And all the pieces are starting to fall together. And it all feels like this delicate, explosive puzzle that the next few months are filled with carefully crafted work and quite a few finished products. The way that I'm working now is different than it was. And I like to think of myself as someone that pays attention to how I do things. But if I'm being honest, this felt like it was sudden. I looked at the week's work, weeks cut here. I looked at a week's worth of work and thought, oh, wow, I leveled up big time. And though I realized it was a lot of small, nearly invisible changes that eventually led to the enormous difference that I finally noticed. But it feels strange when I look at it. It's like, wow, it's really different. And time is funny like this. It warps what it touches. One change that I didn't even realize, that I started implementing, before I start every new writing session. Sometimes that's 4 or 5 times in one day. I'll set a timer for 20 minutes and let myself write whatever. And it's usually mostly journaling, getting all the garbage out of the way before getting to the good stuff, revealing the gold. It was only a matter of time before I made a gold reference. My husband has, often playing gold mining shows, playing in the background. They really bugged me at first. It's rather devastating to see what they're doing to the environment. But after a while, all their talk about, we got to work all night and mine even more because we got to get the gold and we got to reach the goal for the season. It started to resonate with me in this humorous, comforting way. I apply it, what they're saying about, getting gold to my words and stories, and cloud catching, which pulls my thoughts toward perspective and how powerful it is, and how so much of creating is manifesting a certain perspective into some kind of consumable product. When you say it like that. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed by all that I'm trying to accomplish. And sometimes I feel like a rock star. And sometimes I feel both of those things at once. So I'm starting the new year reflective and working long hours and gaining ground on these nagging goals of mine. And I think I'll choose that note to go out on and wrap this thing up for the week. It's going to be a good year. I've decided I feel that. And keep spreading the word about my little show here. And it will keep growing. Follow me on Twitter at @meBettingfield, the show at Too Many Words Pod. Visit the site tmwpod.com. Pop over to patreon.com/Too Many Words and pledge your support. And keep me in ramen and notebooks. Thanks for tuning in. And next week, I will be talking to you. And I have author Katherine Locke on the show. So tune in next week. Over and out.